We can see record apple and pear prices now, while potato prices can come under severe pressure. In this week's AMT Fruit and Vegetable Market Overview, made possible by Fieldnet Pivot Watch, we focus on these price movements and also take a closer look at other fruit and vegetable price movements on the markets. All in this week's episode, so make sure to stay tuned. The rand recently weakened to 17.48 rand per US dollar, with the dollar getting some support following a better than expected job report and escalating conflict in the Middle East that is creating uncertainty in the markets and more demand for the dollar at the moment. The Brent crude oil price realized its largest weekly rise in over a year and is now trading on $77.79 per barrel as the escalating conflict in the Middle East continued to pose supply risks. On the demand side, signs of a strong US economy have supported expectations for increased fuel demand following a surprisingly strong jobs report. Discover Fieldnet Pivot Watch, your cost-effective monitoring solution that fits any pivot. Monitor any pivot, anytime, anywhere. Make sure to contact your nearest Amatic dealer for a quote today on Fieldnet Pivot Watch. Last week, the average national potato price increased by 8% to 128 Rand per 10 kg and is now 7% higher than a year ago, when we also saw low volumes and high prices. Last week, the volumes, however, started to pick up, increasing by 30% week on week and is already 2% higher than a year ago. I therefore think that this price can start to decrease sharply soon. The large potato price increased to 146 Rand, mediums traded on 126, while smalls traded on 97 Rand per 10 kg. Mondials traded on 131, Cyphras on 133 and Lenormas on 107 Rand per 10 kg. After the 2-week price increase, we realized a strong and quick decrease in prices last year and is therefore also expecting prices to decrease sharply now as well, especially taking into account that we can see middle month low demand and quality that can come under pressure if we see higher temperatures again. The average onion price stabilized for the first time since middle June and increased the past week to 46 Rand 2 cents per 10 kg, with volumes increasing by 28%. Brown onion prices increased to 44, red onions decreased to 82, while white onion prices increased to 46 Rand per 10 kg. The average large onion price traded on 40 Rand, mediums on 53 and smalls higher on 33 Rand. I think that the average price can stabilize around current levels and then possibly remain on a lower level for the remainder of this year. The tomato price increased by 12% the past week to 12 Rand 5 cents per kilogram, with volumes increasing by about 1% week on week. Large tomatoes traded on 12 Rand 36, mediums on 12 Rand 34, while smalls increased to 10 Rand 57. We expect volumes to stay on a higher level from the northern production areas, while demand was definitely down over the weekend. This can push prices downwards this week as well. The average carrot price increased by 27% over the past week to 7 Rand 1 cents per kilogram and is now 16% higher than last year this time. What's very interesting is that volumes are still about 15% higher than a year ago, which means that there is a lot of extra demand coming from somewhere at the moment. We suspect that it can be a border that opened up to Botswana or Zimbabwe, but we will keep you in the loop as soon as we know more about this. Large carrots traded on 7 Rand 95, mediums higher on 5 Rand 93 and smalls higher on 3 Rand 98 per kilogram. The average pepper price decreased to 17 Rand 77 per kilogram, while green pepper prices decreased to 11 Rand 51. Yellow peppers, however, increased by about 70% to 41 Rand 83, while red peppers traded 30% higher on 43 Rand 47 per kilogram. I think that the price can stay in this downward trend during October and November, when we expect higher volumes of especially green peppers over this period. The average cabbage price increased to R3.30 last week due to higher demand on the markets, but we can possibly see this price to start moving downward now as we expect more volumes, and this price most likely staying below the R3 mark as we approach the end of this year. Garlic prices decreased to R75.05 per kilogram and is also likely to stay in its downward trend for now. The spinach price decreased to R2.66 and can remain in a downward trend in October and November due to higher expected volumes on the markets. Sweet potato prices decreased to R6.16 per kilogram. The average pumpkin price decreased to R1.98. Butternuts increased to R5.42. The average green bean price traded on R14.99, while cucumbers traded on R19.52 per kilogram last week. If we take a quick look at what's happening over in the fruit markets, the banana price increased to R10.87 per kilogram, which is about R196 per 18 kilogram box, with the colder weather resulting in less bananas on the markets and therefore prices that remain on a general higher level. The latest apple price decreased to R10.79 last week, while the pear price increased to R10.93 per kilogram. There was about a 30% reduction in volumes coming from the Eastern Cape this past season, which was mostly due to hail and weather issues, which also kept the price very high this season. This can also result in a shortage until December, which could possibly result in record prices in November and December for apples and pears, something to keep an eye on. The orange price increased to R7.75 the past week, with most producers finishing up the season at the moment. Juice prices were very high this season, which also helped prices to remain on a higher level compared to previous seasons. Expect this price, however, to remain high until February 2025, when the new season commences. The avo price decreased slightly to R21.92, with volumes about 18% higher week on week. Fetus traded lower on 29, Haas also lower on 16, while Pinkertons decreased to R26 per kilogram. The colder weather can possibly mean that the season will end sooner this year and that prices can increase sooner as a result. Expect prices to reach a peak in January next year and then start to decrease sharply from February onwards. The average table grape price increased to R52.64, but expect this price to stay on a higher level now, as the first significant local volumes will only start to come into the markets during December. Pineapple prices traded lower on R12.30, lemons stayed on R5.68, while the average blueberry price traded about 1% higher on R72 per kilogram. Expect more blueberries on the markets to drive prices down in November and December. This video is made possible by Fieldnet Pivot Watch by Lindsay. Visit our website at amtrends.co.za for more detailed reports, prices and videos. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe and thank you for watching.